5 tips to further develop your prospecting mindset. At the next level, we trained and coached over 5,000 salespeople last year, and from that experience, we know that over 50% of them think the most challenging aspect of sales is prospecting. So here are 5 tips to help you to further develop your prospecting mindset. Tip number 1, whenever you attempt to contact a prospect, you are doing them a favor. The last 4 words in the word enthusiasm are IASM, which stands for I'm sold myself. When you are sold on what you sell, it makes reaching out to prospects a lot easier. If you believe in yourself, your products, and your services, you will have the mindset that whenever you attempt to call a prospect, you are doing them a favor, which was a game changer for me to actually believe that whenever I called a prospect, I was doing them a favor. It was almost like I owed it to them to try to meet them, like I was doing them a disservice by not calling them. So how did I get sold on what I sold? I began to learn more about what we sold and how it was changing people's lives. Getting sold on what you sell will change your mindset about prospecting. Remember, you're doing them a favor. Tip number 2 is don't take rejection personally. My daily goal is to make 50 calls. If I did that, I talked to 17 prospects, and from that, I would set 2 meetings. When I looked at my numbers, I realized I was failing 96% of the time to succeed 4% of the time. I told myself when I got those 2 meetings that, Steve, even a broken clock is right twice a day. And I did this activity consistently for about 2,440 days in a row. I realized that not every prospect wanted or needed what I sold. What I focused on were the ones that did. Rejection was part of the game, and I accepted it and put it in its proper perspective. Expect rejection and don't take it personally. Tip number 3 is don't think about what people think about you, because they don't think about you. Early on in my career, I got chewed up by gatekeepers. When I would get a decision maker on the other end of the line, I didn't have a lot of confidence, and when I got an objection, I fell apart like a cheap suit. I'd then get up and walk around the bullpen and try to shake the rejection off. So the number 1 salesperson on the team at that time, Dan Costigan, came up to me and said, I know your problem. And I said, well, what is it? He said, when you get rejected, you start walking around the bullpen like a prison warden. You have an overinflated perception about what really happened. He said, when you call and get rejected, the prospect hangs up the phone and goes on with their day. They don't think a thing about you, and they go on with their day while you're here wearing a hole in the carpet, overthinking their reaction to your phone call. He said, let me give you some advice. Don't think about what people think about you, because they don't think about you. And he was right. Quit worrying about how prospects will react to your outreach. It's a tough cage to live in. Tip number 4 is to reverse engineer your prospecting numbers. I was always looking for ways to get and stay motivated, so one day I decided to reverse engineer my prospecting numbers to determine exactly how much money I was making doing the activity I did the most, which was dial a phone. I discovered I was making about $10 per dial. I realized that every time I touched the phone, I was making money. My mindset changed about prospecting. I looked at my phone and it transformed itself before my eyes. It began to look like a cash register. No matter what happened on the other end of the line, every time I made a call, I was making $10. I was able to associate touching the phone with making money, and it couldn't have gotten there without reverse engineering my numbers. It was a game changer for me, and it could be a game changer for you too. Tip number 5, if you act enthusiastic, you will feel enthusiastic. Simply put, the single best determinant of how you communicate over the phone is your voice. So your tone really matters. If I was in my office from 8 to 5, I would block out 2 to 3 call blitzes a day, and I wanted my voice tone to be just as fresh at 4:30 in the afternoon as it was at 8:30 in the morning. When I mean fresh, I mean I had the same enthusiasm in my voice the entire day. Enthusiasm sells. Man, you need a spark to light a fire. You can have the best script in the world, but if you don't say it with enthusiasm, it could whip the prospect to a nap on the other end of the line. Or you can have the worst script in the world spoken with enthusiasm and it could work. The best way to put enthusiasm into your voice is to smile when you're prospecting, because the act of smiling can impact how you feel. And I needed to feel enthusiastic all day long and have that enthusiasm come through in my voice tone. Enthusiasm is the most important mindset you can have when prospecting. What to do now? Do something. The time is now.